Hey everybody, welcome back to another 10-minute Marvel video. I'm Petter, and today we're going to be talking about The Teen from Agatha All Along and the backstory we get on The Teen here in episode 6. If you're not caught up on Agatha All Along, and at least you haven't watched episode 5 yet, turn off this video. As much as I want you to continue watching it, turn it off. There are going to be spoilers ahead. So let's get to that. Alright, I've given you enough awkward time to click off this video after my warning. So, let's talk about Billy Maximoff, Billy Kaplan, Wiccan, whatever you want to call him, because we really have great confirmation on that. We suspected, we knew at the end of episode 5 that it was Wiccan, that it was Billy Maximoff. The question is, how did it happen? And honestly, completely nailed it. In terms of the accident that they've been hinting at, yeah, that's what created Billy. And I thought they did a really good job with it in terms of kind of developing out his character. I mean, like, yeah, Billy Kaplan has died. Billy Kaplan doesn't truly exist anymore. It's just that Billy Maximoff, William Kaplan, Billy Maximoff now exists within the shell, the human form of Billy Kaplan. And it wasn't like it was a hostile takeover of William Kaplan. With that accident, there was a death, and Billy Maximoff could just step in. And I think they did that transition and that element of the story extremely well. Plus, I mean, I haven't watched a ton of breakdown videos or anything like that on it yet, so I'm sure there are great ones out there. I generally go to either New Rockstars or Screen Crush, just to plug some competitors, I guess. But they do such a good job of kind of layering in those witchy, those already in it deep elements of Billy Kaplan that probably made him a bit more receptive to the soul, to this entity that was released of Wiccan, of Billy Maximoff, when the hex came down. And there were definitely elements that I got wrong. Things that I didn't expect or suspect that I'd see. Like Lilia Calderu being a fortune teller at William Kaplan's bar mitzvah. Didn't expect that. I figured that it would more likely be something that he placed on himself. But how they wove in the different characters, how Jennifer Kale's was a bit weak, but how they wove that into kind of the story so that he was already connected with all the witches prior to going down the road. Him just being impressed with Jennifer Kale's skin routine, sure, whatever. But Lilia being the one who foretold basically his death and rebirth as Wiccan, as Billy Maximoff, was great. As having Alice be the one who was basically the first responder on scene at the accident, that was great. And then even the meetup with Ralph Boner. And I know that there are some theories around that, and or ideas around that. I know Greg had one that I think he's kind of backed off on a little bit, but I thought that was interesting. I loved how it maintained this detective element to the show, even in the flashback, because Billy is trying to figure out who he truly is. Because while those memories exist, he didn't truly exist in the hex in Westview. Like, he was just a part of the hex, and now that part of the hex has been implanted in William Kaplan. And one of the videos that I'm going to be doing coming up here is around the boyfriend Eddie. Screw it. I'm doing it right now in this video. I was going to say I'm going to make a whole separate video on why I don't think Eddie is Hulkling. First off, people fall in love, in infatuation, in whatever with different people in their lifetime. That happens, especially in a developmental stage. They just wanted to layer in the clues as to who the character was. Now, they might have layered him in a little bit too thick because we knew kind of who Eddie was prior to the show. But to me, it's just a boyfriend. And I like the fact that they're not trying to force too much in. The theory is that, oh, this is Hulkling. What? Why? How? Hulkling is a very different character. Now, maybe you could say, well, it's a half Kree, half Skrull, can shapeshift like a Skrull, and is hiding in Eastview. Sure, that works. And real name is Theo, but is hiding out as Eddie. Why the unneeded complexity? This is one of those times where, and if you listen to the podcast last week, where Greg and I talked through some of this on episode 5, and some of the theories and ideas around it, keep it simple. Consider how much of the show is left. We're down to not that many episodes. There are 9 episodes. We've had 6. We have 1 this upcoming Wednesday and 2 the following Wednesday prior to Halloween. Almost at Thanksgiving there. There's not enough time to develop that. We had our flashback episode here, and it did what it was supposed to. The question, I think, and the more interesting thing that I'm going to be getting to in another video is, do we find Tommy here? Is there any clue, any groundwork laid for finding Tommy Shepard, Tommy Maximoff, and where that soul went? Because, to me, that's the more interesting thing. Bringing in Hulkling is easy enough. He is half Skrull, half Kree. We've had the Marvels. Things were not going well for the Kree. Things were not going well for the Skrull. This is certainly an opportunity to reveal that character as somebody who's trying to branch between those two worlds. Easy peasy. This is not something that needs to be thrown in to be layered into a show about witches. So, that's just my thoughts on that. Overall, though, I really liked how they built up the character of Billy Maximoff here. How they gave him amnesia, kind of, as to his previous life. Great, we're not dealing with kind of the 2 personalities. I was curious to see how they get around that. But also, that mystery that he doesn't fully understand his own life, and that he's looking for his brother. And even in this, and it's going to be another video that I do, I'm going to dig into it, but let's talk about the Scarlet Witch. Because even in this, I think there are certain things that characters in the world understand. But with that, let me know, how did you like the reveal and kind of the full backstory of the teen? Did it make sense to you? Did you enjoy the fact that they're bringing in Wiccan Billy Maximoff to this show? And what are you hoping for kind of the continuation of his storyline? Let me know that down in the comment section below. And if you enjoy this video, please subscribe and click that notification bell, or give the video a thumbs up. We're going to be talking more about this episode next Tuesday, might be late Monday night when the episode comes out, of a 10-minute Marvel. You can find the podcast here on YouTube. Click on the channel and then the podcast tab, or wherever you get your friendly neighborhood podcasts from. But with that, we'll see you next time.